You're muted, Milo. You're muted.
There we go. How you guys doing? All right. It's a wonderful day. And so we're getting ready. We're going to get this thing started again. In fact, let's go ahead and I kind of got it ahead of myself there. Let's go ahead and do the song again. That way we can do it one time on live. So here we go. ONPASSIVE Milo show is here today. You don't want to miss a single word they say. Bringing you founders from a near and far. Listen as they tell you now just who they are. Listen to the stories and how they tell. In just 3 minutes how they're doing well. Telling us what it's all about today. And how they are loving that ONPASSIVE way ONPASSIVE. It's a here today ONPASSIVE. There's just no better way. Listen to the ONPASSIVE Milo show. So then you can be the very first to know ONPASSIVE. It's a here today. ONPASSIVE Milo show is coming your way. Saturday ONPASSIVE. Oh, yeah. All right. What a day, man. We get it started off right now. So just so thankful that all of you's been here. A lot of things happening, man, and so much of it is so good. I can't believe it. Thursday, we had the webinar, and Friday last night you had Ron live, and then it went right into Lynn and Rob, and just a beautiful, some great things. I mean, Ash shared some nuggets. If you have not seen those shows, man, go back and watch it. And then to this morning, the Nigerians celebrating the Nigerians, what a thing to be in. And now we get to come here to the ONPASSIVE Milo show. And Lynn, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
Oh, just need to be made co-host so I can bring people in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get to that. All right, there we go. We sure wouldn't want you not to be the co-host. Then we'd be in bad shape. I'm not very good at multitasking. Thank you, Lynn, so much for all you do. So anyway, we got a great show set up today. And on Saturdays, what we like to do is, this is a platform that we come and we share our projects with people. And the good thing is, we're going to make these projects so that everyone can join and they can help fund these projects, but the cool thing about ONPASSIVE is when you help someone else fund their project or whatever, it comes back to you and it makes you more apples. It's just the coolest thing, man, the way that ONPASSIVE works. But I would like to take just a few minutes and say, Mr. John Barillo, thank you so much for coming every week and being our chat patrol. Come on down and say something to us, brother.
Sure. How you doing, Milo? Hello, everybody. I just want to say right now is a time when it's very exciting with what's going on with our business. And I just want to do the same old thing I usually do is, right now is a time to plug into your back office on a regular basis every day, multiple times a day. It's very important because I know most of the folks here today and they're listening to me right now. You're plugged in. We're plugged in. We know what's happening, but I'm just putting it out there. You can tell some of your folks that maybe aren't very engaged even at this point. Get in there. Start looking at that back office. You know where to look when you're in there. I'm not going to go into that. That's all I'm going to say. Make your back office your friend, folks.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. John Barilla, for all you and your team does for us. And that is so true, man. We need to be engaged. I've been saying for a while now, hey, founders, it's time to quit treating your multi-billion, not million, multi-billion, and that's yours. Not ONPASSIVE, but yours. It's time to quit treating that multi-billion-dollar business like a $97 expenditure. It's much more than what you paid to get in. This is a movement. It's incredible. we are going to be seeing some wonderful things happening down the road. Thank you so much. And if you are not, just to let you know, I'm still looking for subscribers to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's otrim.ai/OnPassiveMilo. Now, if you look at the top, there's a playlist. If you check that playlist out, you're going to see the projects. You'll see a project, and they're all stacked up in there. And remember, every day there's the daily inspiration. Kurt comes to you with the daily inspiration. Now, this is going to get more important, I think, as the time goes on, or be more beneficial to you. When you plug into that, it tells you what's going on during the day, but it tells you how many founders we have. So if you go, once we start back getting founders in, it will tell the founders. And it's just something, 2 minutes or something to kind of start your day off and get you there. So appreciate all of you that signed up so far. Hey, I'm up to 128. I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm always looking, for some more, not for me, but to get you more engaged, so that you're more engaged. This will help out. And the projects, everyone, can look at the projects later on and say, hey, I like that. Click on it and, watch the video. Like this will be recorded, and whatever Tina says today will be recorded. We can go back and, hey, I like that project. I want to support it. Boom. You put a spot underneath it. All right, let me see. Listener, come on down. I know you helped John out in the chat. A lot of times I don't give you a chance to talk, but come on down and say a couple words to us.
Hello.
Hey, listener.
I heard my name. I just stepped out of the room and I walked back in and I thought, oh my gosh, Milo. Just
okay,
in time.
I love that you come on and you help John out in the chat and stuff. And I said, come on down and just say a couple words to us.
Okay, well, I am just thrilled to be here. I am fired up. I mean, what a celebration in Nigeria this morning. I wasn't on, but I was listening on YouTube, and oh my gosh, we are fired up. Bring on more events. I am just waiting for them. I love this company so much. I love all of you. I love Mr. Ash for everything he's doing for us. What a guy, what a heart. And this company is just exploding worldwide. It's exploding. What are we gonna do? We can't do anything but be happy and just follow on. Thank you, Milo.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lester. In 212 countries, man. We're in 212 countries and we are picking up momentum. We are picking up speed. This thing is going to blast off here real soon. And I just can't wait. I can't wait to get my hands on those products, to get my hands on the O-Mail, to get my hands on O-Network. I think those are the two that are coming out first, man. And I encourage all of you, man, when you get it, man, you share it, because that's all what ONPASSIVE was about in the, becoming a founder, not ONPASSIVE, but becoming a founder was that you got to build your team early. You got to bring people in. Don't lose that opportunity. You're going to have 3 to 5 weeks or whatever to share it to the world. And remember, you're sharing it to the world before everyone else, gets a chance to. And I want to tell you, all of us, we are in an incredible place in our life right now. Mr. Roy Davies, I know you help John out also. Come on down and say a couple words to us.
Hey there, good evening, Milo. Good evening, everyone there. Today was a pretty good webinar there in Nigeria with Ash Mufareh coming on and everything. He always heats up the place whenever he comes on. I tell you, people just comes in left and right. Since the storm, I've been having a little minor damage here at my place, and my internet ain't really so good. It goes in and out, and I loses the webinars and everything. And my grandkids, they over here, they helping me, cut down the trees and moving them out by the road. And no one got hurt or anything. So I just hear or listen to what's going on, and I appreciate you for bringing me on, and things is getting heated up.
Absolutely. Thank you, Roy. Where are you from in Florida, Roy?
I'm here in Central Florida, around about maybe an hour and 20 minutes south of Orlando from Ash Mufareh.
So you down by Lake Okeechobee?
Yes, I'm about 32 miles west of Okeechobee.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. And you know, all the Floridian people, man, just so glad that, you know, that
Oh, gosh.
as far as I know, they're all okay. I haven't heard of any of, you know, anyone being, I mean, a lot of people was displaced. What a terrible thing that happened there in Fort Myers and Naples and down in that area.
Yes. Them was the worst. Them was the worst places coming off that coastline, you know.
Absolutely.
And looked like it was going to be worse than what it were when it came inland. But so happened, it you know, it didn't do as the damage that I thought it was going to do. It did a lot. It did a lot.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I picked up a lady last night from Fort Myers. She flew into Nashville, and she come in to see her daughter. She had to fly out of Sarasota, but she was telling me about it. Of course, I was following it anyway. I have a real good friend that's there in
Okay.
she was in Naples. She was actually lives in Marco, but she went to Naples. And so I followed it very closely. But yeah, it's amazing how quick it went back out. That was what you know, it come in and went up. Lynn, how did Lynn, let me bring actually Lynn on. Lynn, I'm so thankful you're the co-host, man, and all you do for us, man, you advertise, you bring people on, you get things going, and I have no idea how you do it, because I know you was on last night, you know, late, and I was trying to watch it this morning, you know, and we get no sleep, Harley. I don't know how you keep going, man. You're like the Energized Bunny, but so thankful that you're here with me. Come on down and talk to us and tell us a little about Florida.
About what?
Tell me a little about what happened there in Florida where you were at.
Oh, well, we had high winds and heavy rains, but I don't think it was as bad as in some areas. We had some damage to our fence. The fence fell, but it's an old fence. And then the screening around our swimming pool, some of that screening broke, which I think is expected, actually. We had to drain our swimming pool by about 10 inches because we knew that the heavy rains would overflow, right, over the pool. So we knew to do that, but we were fine. But today my husband, Rob, is driving to Fort Myers. It's, I think, a 3-hour drive. He's going to help a woman whose everything was destroyed in the hurricane. She has no place to live. So he's picking her up and he has a U-Haul with him, and he's going to get her belongings, bring her all the way back here to St. Pete. And we're going to be, she's going to be staying somewhere temporarily for a couple months until she can get back on her feet. So some people were really badly affected. So we need to pray for them.
Absolutely. I, you know, I've been praying for Florida, you know, ever since I heard about this and coming in, and just devastating stuff, you know, that happened. And I gotta say kudos to you guys and Rob for doing that, you know, because we all need a hand when something like that happens, and it's a beautiful thing. But Lynn, I also want to just thank you for coming down and being the co-host and being the wonderful person that you are. And thank you so much for helping me out all the time.
I'll be posting in the back office. It's down for a little bit. You know how it's been going up and down because they're grading the site. So it happens to be down, but I'm sure it's going to go up soon, and I'm going to post there.
Perfect. Thank you. And anyone else, you know, you got the link in the back office. If you can share it with your friends that we are on, and we're going to have a great show. And today we have a special guest, and she is all the way from Singapore. And I heard her talking on a show once and talking about her project. And I said, man, I want that one on the show so we can spotlight it. And so we can, we're going to talk to Miss Tina Goh today. And we're going to, you know, talk to her about, hey, how can we help fund this? And because really, honestly, ONPASSIVE is not a business. it is a movement, you know. And when you think about that, the more cords that get wrapped around a rope, the tighter it becomes, the bigger, the stronger it becomes. And that's what ONPASSIVE is. As more and more people get engaged, you know, and they start picking up these projects and, hey, how are we going to do them, or what's going to happen? And, you know, we don't have to recreate the project, because if someone's out there doing it, hey, let's just join forces with them. Let's join forces and make this stuff happen. Beautiful thing. So Miss Tina Goh, come on down and talk to us. You got about 15, 20 minutes, and then I'll ask you some questions. We'll talk, then we'll open it up for open mic for people to discuss things with you. But we're excited to hear what you got to say. Come on down, Tina.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my beautiful fellow ONPASSIVIANS all around the globe. I'm Tina Goh from Singapore, and I'm your friend. I see a lot of beautiful family friends here. You're all my family. You're my sisters, my brothers from Florida, from South Africa, from Kenya, and oh, of course, I cannot not mention my sponsor, Delacell. She's the one who's got me out here in ONPASSIVE, and I'm so indebted with her. And I'm so happy that she persisted on getting me up into in ONPASSIVE. I thank you, Milo. This is not my first time here. I was once here with Julie and yourself as one. And I thank you for that opportunity as well. But today, it is something that is very close to my heart, and what I've been. I feel that what I've been born to do as well. The first time I hear CEO Ash Mufareh talked about wealth, the circle of wealth, is when I'm really hooked in. I know what it meant. I know what it needs to be done. And I know that this business is not a business for me. It is my life. So I'm not sure if I could share the screen, if I may, Milo, or do I just speak off the cuff? You're muted.
Do I have to do something, Lynn? Or
No, she can let's see, are you a
Are you?
co-host?
yes, I made her a co-host, so she
Okay,
should
yeah,
be.
click the screen share, go ahead.
Okay.
Wait, Lynn, before we go any further, no one else can share, right? No one else can share their screen except the co-host. We don't want what happened last week.
Right. Hosts and panelists. I think if I switch it to only, you should be able to do it still. Tina, try.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay.
Try to share it now, Tina.
Sure. You co-host disabled participant. Okay.
Oh,
Now
so
I'll
it
try
has
to.
to let me change that. Okay, I have to enable hosts and panelists can share. So that's the only option I have.
I think
Okay.
so.
Do we know all the panelists that are on here?
Okay.
Well, most of them are familiar to us right now. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
We,
All right,
we
great.
should be okay. We should be okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Can you see it?
Yes, we see it.
Okay, I'll just go through.
There we
Well,
go.
my project that I actually talked about in, I think it was Friday Night Live, right, Lynn? I asked about Oh Bless when Ash came in. And this is what I call the project as Homeward Chance. It is a chance. I don't know, maybe can you see that?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, it is a home for anyone to have a second chance in life. My friends call me the acronym diva. Life is living in full exhilaration. So what I have in mind is to have an abandoned school here in Singapore, or structure refurbished as an apartment block or something like that. And that is just the concept of what it's all about. It is targeted to women and all women, hopefully for all blessed, for single mothers, for, as I mentioned in the last webinar as well, incarcerated women coming out from rehabilitation, women or girls who are abused, girls from dysfunctional families, children of women of all of the above, meaning children of single moms, abused moms, and incarcerated moms as well. And this is where I think would really help the women, because women are the pillar of the family. And what I have in mind is to have not just that physical facility, but also to equip the women with skill sets. So for example, for what I mentioned in the webinar was about having equipping and empowering the women who are coming out from rehabilitation to be certified as fitness instructors, or in any sense equipped with other kind of skills that they have, what I have listed here, culinary skills, if they love waitressing, or if they're very good in administrative, or even online skills, like if they can actually do virtual assistant and doing online marketing, and all kinds of skill set that they would like to be a part of, because passion drives what you successfully become. That's where I come from. And we also have programs in terms of the well-being, giving them therapies, psychology sessions, coaching from life coachings and all coaches, and also mentoring as well. Like I said, with the fitness instructors, with all of these skill set that will be equipped with them, there will be someone who will mentor them and who will be guiding them to find out how they can use whatever certifications or whatever skill set that they have acquired to help them assimilate back to get employment and get a life for themselves as well. So it's not just helping them, not just giving them the fish, but also helping them to get that rod to fish for themselves. What I was also thinking, and what Milo was mentioning earlier, that this is not a ground up. Some maybe one or two ideas maybe from ground up, but we're looking at whatever there is out there, especially in Singapore. I think I mentioned that our government is very structured. We have a ministry that looks after culture, community, and youth. So and it goes layered right down to having a statutory board that helps the NGOs and the charity organizations to run their whatever they're doing, in a sense. So it is not, for me, this project will not be a ground up, but to add value for what the charity organizations already have. Say, for example, we have a charity called SUNDAG, which is the Sun Day Activity Center for the disabilities. So they are already having classes to equip disability, people in disability. So instead of us trying to find out and trying to really go out there and do the heavy lifting, we will use this kind of or collaborate with these charity organizations with and bring them up to the knowledge of what the ministry can help as well. So what I'm doing in terms of, there is a lot of collaborations, but what is important is that facility, which I talked about earlier, that needs to have for someone who is coming out without a home, who has been abused and don't have anywhere to go. That facility, it would be for that person. And why I mentioned a school facility, because we have, Singapore has this funny, with the Chinese culture, there are certain years where our birth rate goes up, and then there are certain years where it go down. So there are schools which are abandoned because there were not enough children going to the school. So there are that facility as well. So I'm looking at having that facility to refurbish. And the reason why I'm looking at schools, because the school are already equipped with sports facilities, with gyms, with a field for athletics and all kind of sports. So I'm looking at that, not just, like I said, not just for the women or the mothers, but their children as well, so that they can actually be doing fitness and doing the things together within that one facility. So I'm also looking at the same time, this area where of collaborations within between us and the charity organizations, and also for corporates and businesses to finally get the women to earn their employment, or if they want to do business, to collaborate with other organizations as well, and get them, assist them to get their own home at last, and going out. And that's not just it, but if you see that last part where I mentioned it, for them to pay it forward, because I feel that especially for women who have been abused, women who are incarcerated, they need to get rid of that stigma. They need to have to find their self-worth. They need to have the dignity of being a woman of worth, the wow factor, the woman of worth. And that's where I said, paying it forward and giving back to society through volunteerism would hopefully gain that sense of dignity and empowerment for them as well. So this is what I have for now. I would love to hear from everyone else what you think about it. I will now stop share so that we can go back to the gallery and listen to everyone else to get their suggestions.
Hey, thank
Milo,
you.
back to you.
Hey, thank you, Tina. It was wonderful. I just I want to talk to you for a little bit about your project, and let's go over some things that you talked about. You talked about you want to get a school, and so to get this and to do all the remodeling and everything that you're wanting to do is going to cost money, of course. That word comes up, and so how can we fund that? So we put Tina Goh's project in, Homeward Chance, and I love the project. I love the project. I mean, when you take what you're doing here, you know, and you're making it so that they can come out, but they can become a valuable person. It's not like you're giving them everything. They come in, they work. We can find things for them to do. You can create jobs there. You know, you could, in this school, you could maybe have a place where they could babysit people, you know, children and stuff. What a great way to give back and to fund your program, you know, and stuff. And so that's one way. Now, what I also say, you know, is when we put this project out on, you know, we're gonna make a website or whatever, and we're gonna have it out, and people can join, you know, by buying a position underneath it. If they know a woman, say that they want to give a position to, what better way than to all of us join together and create a movement where we can help everyone. And in the end result, they're going to pay it back, because when they do that, you know, it's going to make, like you said, the wow factor, the women of worth, you know, and it's going to give them something back, you know. And that's one thing I think in society, sometimes we fail to realize, that people need to hear about their self-worth. Sometimes you get beat down and you get told you're nothing, you're this, you're that, and you know, and you can't do that and make it. It gets hard. It gets really hard for you. So I appreciate what you're doing. You're going to bring them in. You're going to lift their self-esteem up, you know, by helping them to create something themselves. And like you said, the beautiful thing, which I always go for, is don't give a man a fish. Give him a fishing pole, show him where the water is, help him bait the hook, you know, and let them do it, because the cool thing is the self-worth comes in at that point. All of a sudden, you're not relying on someone just to give me. You got this self-worth that, hey, I can go out there, I can do it myself, I can change lives. You know, and I believe that's what ONPASSIVE is all about. We are all world changers. Now, once we step up to the plate and we become that, that's what's happening with ONPASSIVE right now. You know, when Mr. Ash come out, you know, back in 2018, and he started talking his heart, you know, and people started getting that concept of putting the mind and the heart together. It's all about the heart, you know, and when you realize that you can help people and you can make a difference, it just gives you so much more self-worth and helps you. I'll tell you, there's nothing like giving. There's nothing like being able to say, hey, you know what? It's all right. You know, we make mistakes in life. It doesn't matter. Forget about them. You know, and the thing about it is I like to tell people, hey, don't be guilty. You know what guilt is? Guilt is nothing more than a self-imposed penalty. Why do you want to do that? Don't do that. Never feel guilty. You know, it's a self-imposed penalty. You did something, move on, step forward. And I will tell you, some of the greatest accomplishments that I did in my life is because I made a mistake, but I kept going, boom, kept going back. And as long as you get up one more time, then you get knocked down, you're fine. You're going to make it. I love what you're doing with this project. I want to tell you that personally, I'm going to help fund this project as much as I can, because I love it, you know. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, once we build this website up, I'm going to start bringing in people underneath it, you know, giving spots if it's someone that needs it, a woman or whatever. But even if it's not, you know what, even if you don't have anyone to give, remember, you're going to have so many apples, you need to find some place to do it. What better place than to find a project like this where you can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy 4 or 5 spots under this project this week, you know, because I want to build it. You know, I want to help build it. It builds yours, whatever project you're doing, but it also builds this one. The more we can get like that, guess what? We can have these facilities all over the world. You know, we can do it all over the world. And she's got the model. She's got the plan. Let's perfect it as one, and let's build on. Do you, how does that sound, Tina? Do you agree with that? I mean.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I was just thinking about what I'll do in Singapore, and also for the refugees in Malaysia as well, that my sister Fairuz and Zaida are doing them and helping them in that sense. But imagine if as what you say, for it to become a template for to replicate around the world, that's exactly what the movement of Oh Bless is, isn't it? To bless everyone else, to change one person's life at a time. And I love what you mentioned about building, having accounts
Resell.
under that particular.
Right.
I think it's. I mean, I've been paying for painting founders, but I think your idea about getting that to build that particular painting founders for this course is great. I mean, imagine I can actually get a buy for those people who wish to become resellers. We can actually equip them with a reseller account, and they can get their life out right on. I think it's a great idea.
The beautiful thing of this is not only this is your project, but other people who see the vision or whatever, and they want to build their own project. Now they come in and they start bringing their people, the women that they want. That builds yours. Now imagine your people, you all of a sudden you don't have anyone, you know, you're kind of like, man, I don't even know where to go now. What happens if you take some of that money from your spots and you start building under those people that are doing theirs because you support their project? When we start doing that, this is the ONPASSIVE way. This is us getting together and us becoming as one, you know, one, a rope or a cord or whatever, however you want to say it. When you put all that together, the more cords you get into it, the much stronger you get. We can change the world. And that's the message that we want to give is, hey, let's go change the world. There's enough ONPASSIVE people that we can change the world just by picking up on these projects. And we don't have to be the guy that's spearheading it because we can't do all that. I'm only one guy. You're one person. You got that project. I love it. Okay. I got projects that I'm going to be having. I'm going to be having cancer projects. I'm going to be having entertainers, and I'm going to be having churches. Those are my three that I'm going to promote myself because those are true and dear to my heart. It's passionate. You know, my brain and my heart has connected on that. And I want to bless those people. And, you know, I'm going to give everyone else a chance the same way that we're doing with you, that they can come in. You know, if you've got say a church project and you want to do it, why not build under the churches and you start making it bigger and bigger and bigger. And all of a sudden, you know, we can change the world. I remember one time Mr. Ash said, this was probably 2-3 years into it. He said, you know, his goal was to give away $1 million a day and keep 1,000 for himself. He says, is there anyone that wants to follow me? You know, I raised my hand and said, yeah, absolutely. I would love to give away $1 million a day. Whatever it is, I want to give away because, you know, truthfully myself, I'm not a real materialistic guy. Marty inspired me to have a big living room. So I'm having a home with a big living room because Marty wanted one. And I said, man, that is the coolest thing. I always wanted the big 10-foot grand piano. So now I'm going to have a house with a big 10-foot grand piano. And guess what? If any of you come to Nashville, you come over and we will have a little singing and cutting up, you know, but I will also do some things live. That's what's dear to my heart. Okay, so watch for it coming because it will be coming. And the other thing is, hey, I need a new van. I hit 2 deer last night, so I need to get a new van, you know. And then my van's got 220,000 miles on it. It still runs pretty good and everything. And even with hitting the deer, I was so blessed. And I always say this, I say, I don't think there's anyone that's been as blessed as I have in my life. I can't tell you how much I've been blessed just by people that have come into my life, even ONPASSIVE. I mean, when I think about it, it blows my mind that, you know, that we can come into some place like this and we can talk to other people. We can bless other people. We can have fun. You know, I plan on traveling around the world and I want to stop by a lot of you guys' homes or whatever, or get a place somewhere close. And if I can help you out at all, man, I want to help you. You know, if me coming there and just stopping by and having a meeting at a motel or something, you know, and sharing the good word, you know, and whether I'm doing a project like with Tina or I'm doing one with me or whatever, sharing it, making sure people know. That's what's important to me. All right. Tina?
Absolutely. Sharing is caring. And you're always welcome here to sunny Singapore. I'll definitely be bringing you around.
I want to come over there. I do. All right. I tell you what, we're going to go to some hands now. We've got some hands raised. So let me see. We got Yvonne. Come on down, Yvonne, and talk to us.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I am so excited, exciting times for me. And thank you, Tina. I really so much resonate with a lot of the things that you said, because a lot of those things are my goals and my dreams, especially for women, the youths, young girls in particular, because I was in a place at 11 years old when certain things, some storms came my way. I had no choice but to be given one choice into marriage at 11. But education saved my life. Refusal to get married at that age, with my grandmother at my side saying, no, this child will not be given away into marriage. This child has to go to school, to be my ears and my eyes out there, because I am not educated. My daughter was not educated. This one has to go to school. And so a lot of things came against me, but with determination and with the spirit of Almighty God, I said, I will go to school. From this one-time TV that I watched from the only TV owner in the village who was using a generator, there was no electricity. It talked about freedom and success in the United States. And I thought, I will walk to the United States of America. I became so obsessed, and I kept singing and praying and saying things that I'm going to go to the United States so that I can go to school and get the freedom. So I always have loved to talk to people, to read, to write, and to do a lot of things. And I became the advocate for the village because I saw the way a lot of kids, particularly the female child, was living was not a good one. Much emphasis was placed on the male child, and importance was placed on the male child. The female child was at the disadvantage. And so I thought, I will go to school. I was determined. And the parents of the village, they will always call me to come and write letters to them and take them to the post office. And I became the letter writer and the courier of the village. And I would walk barefoot in my torn clothes and take these letters to the post office. And they came together from nothing, pulled all their resources together to educate me. And when I graduated from secondary school, I thought that was not enough. I wanted to talk and walk like the educated. I wanted to go to America so bad because I thought America was meant for people that are highly educated. And so I cried out to my mother. I said, Mother, how come I can't go to high school? He said, please, I'm afraid of what your father might do because they don't want the female child to be educated. I said, I want an education. I went to high school. Then again, I cried for university. I went to the university, and then I graduated, and I became the very first female child in this little village of less than 100 people to have the bachelor's degree. And from then, I said, Lord, my mission is to educate every mother, every woman, everybody, but particularly women and children, the youths, especially the young girl. And so from then, by the grace of Almighty God and the traditional blessing of my grandmother, I found myself in the United States. I'm speaking from beautiful land of 10,000 lakes, Minnesota. And I said, I will still continue education. I have been going to school, but I've also been helping to buy books, pens and pencils and backpacks and sending it to the village, that village that really helped me. I've also been doing a lot of things here, like when a single mother has a baby between 1 day old and 1 week old, when I know of it, I'll go to the hospital and I try to open a mini account for that baby, because considering my situation, my mother and my grandmother, when they didn't have anything, so I thought this baby might grow up when they get to maybe 19, 20, they don't have the resources to go to school, they will have something to learn a trade that they so desire. And that way it will open doors of opportunity for them. And when ONPASSIVE came, I have spent a lot of money trying to invest so that I can build a school, an IT school in this village to educate the youth. When ONPASSIVE came, I jumped in and I thank God for Ash Mufareh. So when Tina says, you're building this home, I suffered from homelessness because my mother's home was demolished. I suffered from hunger. I suffered from not even wanting to have an education, but God showed me the way. So what you are doing, that's almost exactly what I'm trying to do in Cameroon, in that, beginning from that little village and spread it out. And why not throughout the world? Because in the United States here, we still have to invest in education, a different kind of education to change our mindset, to see a brother or a sister and help, because we all come from human race, not a Black race, not a white race. That is nothing like that. God created us as one. That is why we are brothers and sisters here right now. I so much thank you guys for this. I am so privileged to be here. I love you all. Thank you.
Yvonne, I loved what you said. I loved your passion. I love your heart. And the cool thing is, now you can team up with Tina or whatever, and we can make this happen. Now, you said something that was very important. What about you want to teach people, right? You're a teacher. So
Yes.
how about we do something, not on Tina's platform, but now your platform also, that teaches people on Academy. And we share it with the people, the girls, and that's with Tina. Now, go back to last week's. Do you remember? I don't know if you was on last week, but Wayne Dockery had a thing of how to create a foundation, create a scholarship foundation. So,
thank you.
yeah. So what you're saying there now what we can do with the scholarship foundation, you can bring the people into that scholarship foundation. And when you put people underneath it, put yourself, but then put people underneath and start building that builds your scholarship foundation. But when we do it all together, someone else, someplace else says they want to do it, I want to do it. Okay, I'm going to have people in it. So all of a sudden, we all start building underneath each other, and then it starts just growing and growing and growing, and it multiplies. It's a beautiful thing, man, when you understand the concept of it. But I see you being able to work with both of those foundations because your heart is there, and let's go for that, and like I said, we put it into maybe Tina's thing about, learning and teaching, or maybe we even create a whole new thing about teaching, we could do that too. But I think it would work well with Tina's, if you bring it in there and you bring it into, into docs, into the other organization where you can create scholarship funds. It just makes a lot of sense. But man, I love your heart. I love your passion. I love your story. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. And
hang on, Milo,
yes.
Just if I can say something.
Yes,
Yvonne,
absolutely.
you're from Cameroon?
Yes.
Oh, I have one of my founders in Cameroon whom I gifted for Sister Simone for the deaf orphans in Cameroon. I would love to get in touch with you so that you can also help them as well.
Please, thank
Sister
you.
Simone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is
Milo, can I cut in 1 second? I'll be quick.
Absolutely, brother Marty. You always can cut in. Come on down.
Hey, Yvonne, your story is amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, oh my God. People talk about a hard road.
Thank you.
She walked over a mountain barefoot. I mean, that is amazing. My camera's off and I was listening, and I go, whoa, I got to see who this woman is. That was amazing. I'll never complain again. Holy cow. You
Thank
are a
you.
superstar. Thank you for the story. All right,
Thank
Milo, I
you.
won't do it again. That's not true. You know I might.
Thank you.
You
know I
can
might.
do it anytime. I was, Marty, diamonds are coming out left and right now. I mean, I watch.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
It's
Yvonne, you
amazing.
make sure you keep talking. I
Okay,
want to
thank
hear.
you so much.
I want to hear you every day.
Thank
And
you.
and we'll cut back on Chris a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay,
I'm just
thank
kidding.
you. Thank you.
No, it's awesome, Yvonne, and Marty. Thanks for jumping in and bringing that too. We are on passive, and we are finding diamonds every day. It seems like, and Yvonne, you're one. So keep speaking up, keep sharing. Let's do this. Tina. The cool thing about this platform is we all share, and we come up with different ideas. And when we do that, man, it just gets so much bigger and so much better. And like I said, whenever you have a rope and you put more cords on it, it makes you much stronger, and that's important. All right, next. Thank you. Next up, we got Mr. Alan G, all the way from South Africa. Come on down, Alan.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity. Just building on what Tina and Yvonne have said. Why not, in your system that you have there, why not create a little eco-village where you have people come in with different, and you teach them different skills, sewing, knitting, or crocheting, having a garden, a food garden where they grow their own vegetables. This type of thing where you can add that into we've got the ground there, so use the ground to grow your own food. And then you can also have other things that you can do, other trades that one can learn. So there's so many things that ladies can do as well. I mean, there's some of the things that they can also do woodworking. I don't see why not. With the tools today, it's not that difficult. Teach them skills that they can go out and make a living.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Alan. I think, like I said, the reason why we talked, I was looking at a school compound or a facility is that we have a field, we have gardens, you can be self-sufficient in terms of growing their own food, and they can cook for themselves. And it also, at the same time, the school facility also allows for the mother's young child to be with a little like a childcare center where the moms can go out there work and somebody's looking after the child as well. So that's one of the reasons. But yes, self-sufficiency and sustainability with food security being very lacking at this moment, it's definitely a plus. Thank you very much, Alan.
I don't know aware of what the Israeli system, what they call the kibbutz, where they have like a village where everybody goes and works in the fields and does picks the fruit and plants, and everybody works there. And the children go to school. They have small children go to like a creche where they've got somebody there who looks after them. So the parents can be out in the fields and working and everybody's got something to do. I think that's the ideal thing for what you're looking for. Create like an eco-village where they've got everything is included.
Absolutely, Alan. Those are great ideas. In fact, when you were talking, my mind rolls anyway all the time whenever someone says something, and I think of something. But can you imagine, Tina? We have this Academy, right? We've got Academy. You can stream it into your classroom or whatever, and we have a teacher that teaches these women how to sew, and they can sew and they can make clothes for children or whatever, and like Alan said, no matter what that project is, if it's cooking, if it's growing food, whatever, we can become self-sufficient. And the key to that, though, that I think is huge, what you're doing is you're providing that self-esteem. You're providing that self-worth. You're making that woman realize that has been beaten down and abused and told, all kinds of things or whatever, however they've went through, you're telling them that, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter where you were. That doesn't matter. Let's forget all of that. Let's start forward. Let's move. And you can teach them skills that they can take. And they know that, you know, they're creating something that is beautiful, and they become, their self-esteem becomes much better, you know, and then, you know, you can put them into society or whatever, and they can start doing exactly what you're doing, you know, maybe in another city. And all of a sudden they bring this same concept there, you know, maybe their specialty is only, you know, I only want to teach women to sew. Okay, well, you start this thing where people come in there, and now you got seamstress that are making suits, they're making this, they're making that. And guess what? There's a place to sell them, right? You know, O-Shop, I think, or O-Commerce, you know, and all of a sudden you get this whole new business coming in, and you can keep it down where that people, you know, maybe even give some of it away to people that need it, you know, because remember, when we don't have to have the greed, you know, we don't have to have it, and we can bless other people, I think all of us are going to be way ahead. All right. Did you have another comment you want to say to Alan before we move on?
I'm good, thank you. Yes, and absolutely, that part of the social enterprise coming out from the products that the women make for themselves, it's brilliant, and that's exactly also what I'm looking forward to extend the program as well. Thank you so much, Milo.
All right, thank you. All right, next up we got, she's been the host here before. Jeannie, thanks for all you do, or Jean, thanks for all you do for us. Come on down and talk to us. I know you got something good.
Thanks, Milo. Can you guys hear me? I'm having some sound issues today.
Hear you good.
Awesome. Pardon me. Tina, I'm going to have to go back and watch the replay to go through your presentation once again, so I get the full comprehensive value of it, because you've really thought of everything. And what Milo was alluding to before with the being able to monetize all of these trades that you're teaching, I mean, just the possibilities are endless. But ever since I first started on Passive, and you were on the panel, every time you got up to speak, it was with this incredible passion about your projects in Singapore and beyond, and also how technology would be involved in that. And I was so impressed by that. And that message has just gotten more and more robust over time. And today, when you bring this project forward to us, I'm struck by the fact that, you know, the whole purpose is to empower women, right? And one of the most subtle ways that you're doing that is in the words that you choose, the acronyms that you create. And you've been doing this from the beginning, and I've noticed it, and I've always said, my gosh, that is so creative. That is so, it's carving new neural pathways in the brain. When you say a second chance at life, live in full exhilaration, that's a conceptual, energetic field that is going to affect people on a really deep and subtle level. When you say the wow factor, women of worth, women are going to just own that. And it's palpable. It has a real physical and mental, emotional, and spiritual impact on people. So I don't know if you have a little glossary of all of these terms that you have created over time, but making that available to the people in your organization, just even beyond all the practical things, it's going to have such an impact. And I want to thank you for that, because every idea that people have had on here is affecting my brain, is Milo's. So he gets me on this. You know, he hears somebody say something in his mind, just goes, wow, you know, and he has so many ideas. It's almost like you got to put it in slow-mo so you can capture everything that's coming out of his mind. So I'm just so grateful that we have someone in our presence, Tina, that's you, that is thinking on that level, that is creating the new terminology for people to break all the old ways of thinking that have just only suppressed and kept us down, and just expand our minds so we can move into this new future that Ash is co-creating with us. And yeah, I just want to say thank you for that. And I can't wait to watch the replay to watch your presentation again. Thank you.
I'll send you the PowerPoint. That's
All right, Tina, if anyone wants the PowerPoint, do you want to share it?
absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
It's a template, but it's still work in progress. You know what you have suggested, and it can be expanded. Oh my God, like what Jean was saying, it's mind blowing. It's endless possibilities to expand. Yeah. Thank you so much.
absolutely. It's beautiful. That was a great presentation. So if anyone wants the PowerPoint, please get a hold of Tina Goh. Just send her a message on Facebook. Be all right, Tina? Okay. So Jeannie, thanks for coming down, man. You always bring it to us, you know. And one thing you said, I loved everything you said, but one thing that really stuck out with me is things are not like they used to be. Things are not going to be like they used to be. And we have to get that in our mind. You know, I try to tell people, I say, you know, the way we used to do things is not the way it's going to be. It's not going to be. So we are moving into a thing that is different than anything we've ever done before. And if you really think about it and it gets in your mind, I don't know of any mind that can handle it, to tell you the truth. I know mine doesn't. I just go, oh my God, it's another thing, and it's another thing, and it's another thing that all of a sudden you think about that you can do with ONPASSIVE, and it's incredible. And things that you once had problems with, you will no longer have problems with, especially, you know, in the financial world. There is there's just excitement about it. And it's a different world. It's going to be a different world, I promise you. All right, next up we got one of our faithfuls that come here all the time, and we thank you. Dr. Benny, come on down. You always share some good stuff. Come on down and talk to us.
Thank you so much, Brother Milo, for giving me this opportunity. I want to welcome each and everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. To my brothers and sisters, my queens and kings on this amazing webinar in different parts of the globe. Sister Tina, excellent project. Your project resonates with what I have been thinking for the longest time. When it comes to single women, single mothers, and children, most importantly, the girls. What Sister Yvonne stated before, in Africa, or should I say in other parts of the globe, to tell you the truth, they don't want girls to go to school. The way our parents think, they don't reason very well. They think that girls cannot study. But nowadays, our younger girls, they are doing very well, more than the boys. Yes, Sister Tina, they are. So I will really want to work with you. And again, based upon the programs that you have, you stated that you have equipped skillets, what did you say? Waitressing. Now I believe that hopefully you will ask those individuals, like, what are your goals? What do you want to do in your life? Do you want to be a dancer or waitress or something like that? Now, you know, sometimes we cannot really force these individuals what to do. We just want to ask them, what do they want? What will make them happy in life, right? And again, I noticed that God has given us second chance, right? Yes, it is really good because people make mistakes and they learn from their mistakes. So I really, really want to work with you because my main aim is to empower women. Women, I want us to fight also for our right. I want our girls to really do something to better off their life, I am there. I will do what it takes. Just like Brother Milo stated that we can like have forms for those girls, or not only girls, we can also do it for boys, right? Yes, everyone needs a second chance. I am willing, because of what I am going to get, the money that I will have from ONPASSIVE, thanks to Mr. Ash Mufareh. Yes, it is about time for us to help those who are in need. And I am ready, Sister Tina, Sister Yvonne, for all of us to work together as a family to help individuals, for those who are in need. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Benny. It's when I thought about the program, and I said the target audience is for women, but that's exactly what I wanted at that very moment. But it's so true that it can be anyone. It can be for men who are lost. It can be the youth, the delinquents. You know, we have delinquents as well, who are also coming out, and it doesn't. It's not gender prejudice, so it's for everyone. Yeah, thank you so much for bringing that up. For me. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Benny. Thank you, Dr. Benny, for bringing it to us again. That was great, and a great concept. You know, hey, maybe we'll get someone step up that. I think it would be a good thing. I know, you know, even like last week when Wayne talked about the foundation and stuff, one of his things was, hey, can we create a foundation to help someone that maybe wants to be a plumber? They don't want to go to school, but they want to learn a trade, or an electrician. How cool is that? How cool is that we can, or a mechanic? You know, we need those type of people. And what if with Academy, we can just put something in there that teaches them? I know Kevin Rutledge, Curtis, Willow, you know, they talk about water and sewage all the time. And I know that's important. I heard that, you know, and what about these guys teaching people to do that too? You know, I mean, there's so many possibilities. And when your mind just gets going, all of a sudden it's like, okay, where do we do? What do we do? How do we do? You know, but I believe your project, your heart is with women. And, you know, that's what we're working on, is the women, you know, and I believe that is a beautiful thing, you know, what you're doing. And I loved what Dr. Benny, you said about, you know, we all make mistakes. We fall, we stumble. Don't worry about it. Let's pick ourselves up and move on, because remember, as long as you get up one more time, then you get knocked down, you're going to win. You will win. There's no way you can lose, you know, as long as you keep getting up. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Benny. Thank you, Tina. All right. Next up, we got one of the guys that, man, he brings it all the time. One of the smartest guys I know. It's none other than Mr. Jeffrey Morlock, my friend. Come on down, brother.
Wow. Thank you so very, very much. I'll tell you, I tried to find your link a little bit ago. I'm like, oh man, where's it at? Where's it at? Took me a while, but I think we got it squared away. Holy camole, what a conversation. I started out listening to it on YouTube, and that's when I reached out to you and said, hey, I don't see your link. You know, so I think we got that taken care of, but I couldn't put it in updates. So at any rate, wow, what a conversation. I could very easily address almost anything that's been talked about here. Of course, I've got a heart for the world water crisis and what's going on with energy and all of that, but that's not where I'm at today. Man, I'm taking you guys as lead. You guys are about women, and I have some ideas about women that well, you probably know if they are if you listen to any of my videos, but I'm going to share a little bit about that. I mean, what a conversation we've been having. Dr. Benny, I love that you've been talking about these things, and it's very good to see you here. And right off the bat, let me tell you, women, man, oh man, women have what I call and I accuse my wife of it a lot, of having what I call loving intelligence. And by that, I just mean that women are care providers. Women are extremely intelligent, a lot more intelligent than men have been given them credit for a very, very long time, in my opinion. I mean, you can go back and you can look at some of the stuff that, you know, has happened over the, well, for years. I mean, women are life givers of the human race, right? And I believe that they're also more closely connected to God, and, you know, to all that is, the source of all that is, or whatever I call him God. I mean, you can call him source or unified field or whatever, but I mean, God is God. And I do believe that women are more closely connected to God than men ever have been. And I think they've got a much a wiser disposition when it comes to spiritual things. And I think a lot of that is through their incredible intuition, which is, man, Jeanne, I love the way you talk. When you talk about neuronic pathways, I mean, you are barking up my tree, you know, and there's fruit ready to fall off. So when we talk about intuition, we're talking about a clump of nerves down near your solar plexus that literally pulls information out of the ether, and women are extremely good about that. It is incredible, their intuition, and it is God-given, in my opinion. Now, 1,000 years ago, women were the spiritual leaders of the world. The men would go to them. They were the ones that were held in high esteem. I mean, men, they weren't ignorant back then, you know, and they would go to the women for counsel on how to lead their whatever. But they were the I don't know how it got twisted around, how men got into clergy and all, but all that's to say that it's turning back around. I mean, we've seen the We movement come up, the Me Too movement come up, and all the dark and the light and the chaos that we've had for the last quite a few decades. It's all turning around, and I can't wait for women to once again hold that place that they deserve and they were ordained to be in. So, I mean, you know, that's my view on women. It's coming back around. But Jeanne, I love the way you were talking about creating neural pathways, because you're absolutely right. That's what happens. You get new ideas and you start thinking about that, and it gives you neural pathways. I mean, you're literally creating brain cells, and the energy and the focus that you give that helps to develop that, and it will take from other ideas that you no longer think about, and it'll destroy those, and it'll create new things. So life is new, and it really does work that way, man. I'm telling you, you keep on talking, you know. I mean, man, Milo, the way you talked about, you listened to Tina, and then you listened to Yvonne, and then you brought the two of them together. You said, hey, what if you did this and this? And the way that you're bringing people together and teams together, I mean, that just goes to illustrate what we've been saying all along. Mr. Mufareh brought it up. Hey, we're going to win bigger together. We're going to win, but we're going to win bigger together. And oh, Tina, your vision, wow, your work, the passion that you've got in there, and the development of everything that you're doing, and that whole ball of wax that's kind of being molded and melded into something bigger and stronger and better and sweeter. You go, girl. You keep it right up, because you know what? That energy that you're putting into that is going to create a very, very phenomenal platform, and you're going to be changing a lot of lives. And Yvonne, I mean, wow, I agree with Marty. Holy camole. What a story. We've all got a story, but let me tell you, girl, that's a powerful story. That's one that needs to be in books, and that's one that needs to be told around the globe, and that one needs to be told so that it can inspire those people that are hearing it, and they can say, wow, if she can do it, I can do it. And that's what ONPASSIVE is all about. That's what Mr. Mufareh has been saying. Hey, I can do this, you can do this, and we can do it bigger and sweeter and better together. And that's what ONPASSIVE is all about. So life is going to get really, really good for us. And I am telling you what, both of you ladies, man, you are going to be moving mountains, and I'm going to be here to witness it. So thank you so very much. Thank you, Milo. And Lynn, I just want to thank you. Oh, girl, you are all over doing all sorts of things, and my hat is off to you. I love you so much. I see what you're doing, and it's like, woo.
How?
Take care, guys.
Tina, you want to respond?
Oh my God. Well, speech. I told Jean, they said, when I grow up, I want to speak just like her. I mean, the things that she said, although I have it in my mind, but it doesn't come out with the words that I want to use. But yes, that's where I want to go with regards to. I create the little acronyms because that's where the simple words actually come out. But yeah, wow factor, the women of worth, love life, living our values every day. And life is living full exhilaration. So go mad. I'm so honored that Ash actually remembered I used that go mad, give to others, make a difference. So I don't. I'm not very eloquent in terms of the words that I want to use, but I just put it into little snippets of acronyms and keep it simple so that everyone can remember it. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. I look up to you with your videos as well. Yes, I do watch them.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Maybe you put all your acronyms out someplace, put them on Facebook or something so we can all see them and use them. They're great. Jeffrey, you always bring it to the house, man, and you always bring us value, brother. And I appreciate you, man. I look up to you so much. I admire you, and I love it. You know me. I'll call you up all the time and say, Jeffrey, what do you think about that? And then me and you get going, and 2 hours later, we're like, we better do something else. We just keep talking.
I'm gonna rat you out here, Milo. He's not kidding, folks. He'll give me a call, and it'll be something. It'll just be a passing thing, and then 2 minutes later, it's more developed, and then 5 minutes later, it's like a ping pong ball, ping, 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 ping. And then an hour and a half later, like, man, we got to get off the phone and we're going to, but it's great. We do that a lot. We're actually going to come up. What do we call that? The improv? We were going to do.
We had improv. We were just doing improv with you. We just take anyone's questions and we throw it off each other. And because this is the beauty of even like this show, bringing this project here with Tina. And then we get Yvonne in there, and we get these things. Jeannie brings in things, I bring up some things, and all of a sudden this thing becomes so much bigger. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we will do more together. And it's kind of like, when you start out with a small, thin rope, it can be broken and stuff. But as you put more and more people on it, you put more and more cords on it, more twine or whatever, that thing will hold a tremendous amount and it won't be broken, and we can create and do so much more, when we work together. We got a project, we all start putting underneath it. We don't have to be the guy who's the pinpoint of it. We let Tina do that, right? If you want to do it in your area, you can do it, but do it underneath that platform where there's already a template. And whenever you have a template and whenever you do things the same way and you get something that works and you tweak it and tweak it, it works. Have you ever been in McDonald's? What side is the fries on? It's always on the left side. Why is that? Because they created a way to do things. And when they do it, they got it down to a science. Now, we can do the same thing with what we're talking about right here. Tina's got this project, we put it in there and we start building on it, and maybe one tweaks this and one tweaks that, and it doesn't mean that Tina might not do what the other one does because she doesn't, that's not her thing, but someone else gets better, and it makes it so much easier for all of us. So thank you, Jeffrey, for coming on the show and sharing with us, man. We always love to hear you. All right.
A comment for Lynn. Last night, Lynn, I got so many wonderful feedbacks about Friday night and the platform and the back and forth and just the conversations that were going on. And it's a big hit. Your platform like this that you're doing, Milo, and the one last night, people are really, really looking up to that and enjoying that. Thank you both.
It was amazing, Jeff. Last night, I got in this morning at 5 o'clock. I was driving. I hit a couple deer last night. And I got in at 5 o'clock this morning, and I thought, well, I'm just going to listen to a little bit of, Friday Night Live. Well, 5 hours later at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm still listening to that. And then the Nigerian thing starts up, and that's an incredible platform. And so I try to listen to that too, There's not, I don't even know like how LYNN does it, number one. I don't sleep hardly. But I'm not on nothing like LYNN is on. LYNN is every place. You see LYNN popping up every place, and it's just, and there's more leaders like that. You got Julie does the same thing, and SUSIE MCCREA and some of these leaders, it's like, holy mackerel, where do they get the time? But then how about Ash Mufareh now? I have no idea when he sleeps, because when he comes on a show, man, it ramps up, and he has been bringing just gold to us lately. It's not nuggets anymore. It's gold bars that he brings, with what he says and stuff. And, and he was talking today about, hey, we might not have it all right. And we might fail at a thing or two, but people are going to follow us. They're going to follow. And when you have that, there's no way you can lose. When you have that that mentality, you can't lose. There's no way you can, because you got way too much brain power and energy funneling into that. It's an incredible platform that we got with ONPASSIVE. Thank you, Jeffrey. All right, next up, we got none other than the poet, Mr. Curtis Davis. Come on down, brother, and share with us. Hello, Curtis. Are you there? Well, he's got his hand up, and I know he was busy, but all right, let's move on. We'll move on. We'll come back to him. Mr. Bruce G., my friend from Florida. Come on down, brother. Talk to us.
Hello, Curtis. Hello, my dear Tina. I love you so much. I'm sorry I came in late. I was sharing a lot of hope with some people this morning in another platform. But I'm just overwhelmed and with love inside for everything you're doing. I'm thinking about what I heard to begin with. You were talking about the homeless. You were talking about battered women and mothers and mothers, fatherless mothers. And one of the things about them, and everybody talks about what to do for them to give them self-esteem. But one of the things that happens with battered women, you can tell me if you agree with this, is that they feel they deserve what they get. And one of the things to do is build them from the place of examining why do they want to get the same thing over and over again. In recovery, one of the things that happens with that is that you realize that no matter what you've gone through, someone else has gone through the same thing. And you realize that, and you realize you're not alone. And the important thing about everyone who is homeless is not just homeless on the streets, they're homeless in their hearts. And so it's about building up that heart, because once you build that heart up, and you may find somebody and you can ask them, what do you like? What do you always wanted to do? And someone may say, I always wanted to sew and fix clothes and make clothing. Somebody else may say, I always wanted to sing. So you can find the singers and find the sewers, and they can sing together and they can sew together and have that camaraderie at the same time, realizing they're not alone in their pain. So the solution is working through the pain so that you can make $1,000, you can make $1 million. And if you still don't feel good inside, you will still find the same relationship. So what's important is how to build that part of that up too, in terms of their support. The financials will come when they become, when they become part of ONPASSIVE. But in the meantime, what is the ways that you want to build them up to get to the point where you want them to go? So what, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you're really spot on with regards to women who think that they get what they ask for. There are actually, well, I've heard of stories here from even friends of mine who said that it is a culture where women are being treated as a punching bag. And that's where the abuse starts. And like you said, oh, okay, it is a culture thing. So I guess that's what I should receive. And that is why one of the components of the template is to have that well-being support, the therapist, the psychology, and sharing in a controlled environment for them to share their stories and finding out that, I'm not alone here. And when they start to understand that whatever that's happened, like Milo said, whatever that's happened in their life, it should be thrown out and a new slate should come out and find out when that's where the other part of the support in terms of coaching and mentoring starts, like Dr. Benny says, find out what they want to do, find out where their passion is, where they want to develop themselves and where they can give back as well. And that's where the dignity of that wow factor comes in, that feeling of worth. Then it's just, they will just fly with it. Women are like that, if the men don't know. So yes, it's so true that we need to get that system about them receiving what they think they deserve out of that system. Thank you so much for sharing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
A lot of what happens is that the mindset is so strong in there, and that's what has to be changed, because they'll say, well, I knew if I did that, that's what I would get. And you have to break the chains from the bondage of that. And this is about uplifting humanity. And this is a way that we can free them with that. I love what Jeannie said. I love what her terminologies were about youth. And I'm thinking that when you have new words for things and new ideas, people smile. And their mind and their hearts smile. And when you smile inside, you get excited. And when you get excited, you start going, I can do that. I can do that. And as long as you keep hearing people behind you going, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And that's what we have here. Yes, you can, no matter what it is. Nothing is impossible in ONPASSIVE. So we're an incredible group of people. Jeffrey Morlock, you're an incredible man. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate Lynn, and I appreciate Milo, and I appreciate Yvonne, though I didn't get to hear much of what you had to say, and I'd love to hear it again. And so I'll go back and listen to this. Thanks a lot, Milo, for having me.
All right. Thanks, Bruce. Thanks, Bruce. We always love when you come and share, man. We appreciate it. And you were so true. You're spot on with a lot of the things, and we were talking about how women need to know that it's okay. They don't have to go back to where they were. They don't have to live that way. There's a better way. And I want all of you to know the only person that you should be in competition with is yourself to be better today, better than yesterday. I will never be a Jeffrey Morlock. I can't be Jeffrey Morlock. Jeffrey Morlock is unique. Akram's unique. Every one of you, Dr. Benny, all of you are unique. And remember that. You just want to be better than you was yesterday. That's it. And if you have someone like Bruce was saying behind you saying, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. It's like the little train going up the hill. You can get there. You can get there. You can. Yes, you can. Hey, it's okay if you go 2 steps forward and you go 1 back, and then the next day you go 3 steps. You'll get there. Just don't worry about it. And if you fall down, remember, all you got to do is get up one more time than you got knocked down or you fell down, and you will change your life. And then you'll be able to, guess what? The cool thing is then you'll be able to help someone else that's in that same position that you are and help them get to the top. That's the beauty of ONPASSIVE. All right, we're getting short on time. I'll tell you what, we've got two coming up. So it is 2:33. Let's take one more. If so, there's one more that wants to talk, put your hand up as quick as you can. But right now we're going back to Curtis Davis, the poet. He got his microphone working or whatever. So come on down, Kurt.
Hey, Marlon or Milo and Tina, I had a light bulb moment, I think, when you was talking about getting a school and that. How cool would it be on one wing of that school to take and offer nursing care for the elderly? The big thing that nursing homes do now is they take every bit of money that everyone that's worked for all their life, they take all their money away from them, and they have to give everything just to get the care that they need. Now, they've taken care of everyone before and set it up so that you're actually training them in that profession. And when you get where people see that they are actually making a difference, it makes a difference in them too. Anytime you help somebody out, anytime anybody does something and somebody smiles and says thank you, or somebody says, you know, I really appreciate what you did, then it makes every one of us feel good. But just think, what if we had that where we set up one wing of that school and trained people and actually had it so that they was actually like a nursing home wing, that they could take care of the people that have done so much for all of us from years before. And that's all I've got. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Curtis. I think it's an excellent, brilliant idea, because what I had in mind as well is that facility would also help our veterans. I'm actually a military person, retired, and helping the veterans is my other cause, which I have another template for. So the thing is, yes, intergenerational conversation is actually one of the best way to actually help the young to remember our history, where we come from, and for the elderly to share their stories so that they can also find that self-worth in them in their silver years or golden years, to share with the younger ones, to continue a continuous conversation and continuous learning about our history as well and our culture. Thank you so much, because that is exactly one of I do have that in the template, but I didn't put it out as it is because I wanted to focus on the women first. But like I said, Home Chance is not just for women, but it's for everyone. And that intergenerational conversation is definitely one of the components in the template as well. Thank you very much for picking that up. Thank you, Curtis.
Thank you, Curtis. That's a beautiful idea. You know, I don't know how big this school's going to be. That would be one thing, but that is a beautiful idea. And I think maybe even down the road, getting those people into a facility doing that after, you know, they've been rehabilitated would be a great idea. But you could even say during the training or whatever, you bring these vets and these people on to tell their story and thank people for that have been there, you know, and all of a sudden it does create self-worth. It creates where people, these women would want to maybe go into nursing. Maybe they want to do that. Maybe they want to make a difference in elderly's life, or you know, whatever, a disabled vet, or you know, like I said, this thing is so big that when you start thinking about it, man, and you start talking, it's kind of like me and Jeff getting together, you know, and all of a sudden we throw one thing off of one thing, and then it's an hour and a half later, we're still talking, and there's still things that's going over in our mind, but we have to, you know, we have to digest some of it and say, hey, let's talk about this. Let's think about this. So Curtis, I loved what you said. Tina, thank you very much. And we have Mr. Alan G coming down. Come on down, Alan.
Just a thought that I had. One's past doesn't become your future. I mean, if you, as I say, you can't change your past, but you can change how your attitude towards your past. So this is one of the things, if you can get people to change their attitude to what's happened to them and think more positively what's going to happen in the future, it also makes a big difference. You can't change the past, but you can change how you think about it or how you feel about it. That's what I got at the moment.
Tina, you got anything to say, Tina?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's about what Jean has mentioned earlier, you know, thinking that what hits your solar plexus, and then making sure that to make the change has to come from within you. Like what Mr. Ash was saying, motivation can't come from the outside. It never should in the first place, because whatever you want to do has to come from your heart, where you want to do. It's about your feelings, your thoughts, to the results that you want to come out with.
Absolutely. That's what I love that, Alan G. And I always say it's all about perspective. Whatever happens to you in your life is how you perceive it, you know, and it is the attitude. So you can take the attitude of, you know, one way or the other way. You can be down. If you want to get up in the morning and you don't want to be happy, guess what? You don't have to be. It's your choice. But if you want to get up, you want to be happy in the morning, you can be that too. Whatever you want to do, you set your mindset to it and you can do it. I got to tell one little story. I've told it many times before, but I got to tell it again, about a thing that taught me something about this. Early in my life, I was a salesman, and I remember selling one of my builders. He was building a $2.5 million home, and it had 2-car garage on both sides, and you pulled in, you could go either way into the garage. He had bought some mahogany doors from me. Now those doors were $16,000 a piece, and I remember pulling up just a few days after I'd sold them to him, and he had them installed. And I pulled up, and guess what? His truck was right through one of them. I mean, he backed right through that door. To me, I'm thinking, man, oh God, I feel so bad for Dale. You know, it's $16,000, and you know, what's he gonna do? How's he gonna pay for it? You know, and that's what was going through my mind. And I pulled up in there, and I got out, and Dale was standing there, and I said, Dale, what happened? He goes, man, he said, it was stupid. He said, but he says, I got in my truck in the garage, and he said, someone called me up, and instead of raising the door, I thought, well, I'll just sit here. It's cold out. You know, I'll sit here with the garage door down. He said, so I did. And he said, when we got through talking, he said, I turned my truck on, and he said, put it in reverse. And that's what happened. I go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This $16,000 door, you know, and I'm so sorry this happened to you. And he actually grinned and laughed, and he says, you know what? It's honestly not that bad. He said, can you imagine if the next door neighbor's 5-year-old child was behind my truck and I run over him? And I go, wow. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, that what was so bad becomes so good. So a lot of times in our life, if we take the things that we think are bad and we turn them around, and believe me, you know, when you hear stories like Yvonne said today and stuff, most of us have it really made, okay? But if something goes wrong with us, you know, we get in a, You know, well, even take last night. I hit 2 deer, you know, and it's not a big deal. It's a thing to me, you know. Yeah, I could say, oh man, I hit 2 deer last night and it's a bad deal. No, I'm blessed. I'm so blessed because number one, the deer didn't really damage my car a ton. I almost got stopped, but even if it would have totaled it out, it's not going to make a difference to me because in my life, I'm so blessed. I didn't get killed. I woke up this morning, man. I woke up on the green side. Whenever you can get up on the green side, whenever you can go and you take that breath in, know that you are blessed. So there's nothing, you know, so a lot of times it is our attitude and it's how we perceive things and how we can turn them around. It's that mind thought that when you can change things around to, you know, it's not that bad. It's just a thing, you know, hey, we'll get through this. It's not the, you know, it's not cancer. It's not this. And even if it's cancer, guess what? Hey, you're still here, right? And I remember my wife telling me once, she walked out in 2010 out of the doctor's office. She'd been given 10 days to 10 months to live earlier in 2008. She beat it. 2010, I went back and all of a sudden it's back. And the doctor tells her that. She looked at the doctor and she said, so how long I got to live now, doc? Just like that. And I'm like, I'm depressed as can be, right? My wife has just been told they don't know how long she's got to live. Well, then he tells her, he says, well, here, he said, Peggy, I know you don't want to take any more treatments and stuff, but he says, we, you know, because they had brought us back another day to get more tests and come to find out they were bad. He said they were really bad. And he said, if you don't, he said, I can't tell you how long you got to live, but he says, I will tell you this, that the numbers from yesterday till today, you know, if it does the same tomorrow, you won't be here by Friday. And I remember her mouth dropping open and I got depressed and she finished out talking to him and we walked out the door and we started down the hallway. My head's down because they just told my wife she had maybe 6 months to live if she took the chemo, you know, maybe. And so he didn't have a crystal ball, he said, but we walked out. And Peggy, who was just this spitfire little girl, you know, and she hits me upside the arm and she said, hey, big boy. She said, I got 6 months to live. How long you got? I said, Peg, that's not fair. I said, why would you say something like that? And she hits me again and she's laughing and she says, I said, I got 6 months to live. How long you got? I said, Peg, I have no idea. Nobody told me. All of a sudden, she said, can we just forget all this stuff and live life to the fullest? I said, absolutely, darling. Anything you want to do, if I can make it happen, we will. Do you know from that point on, my whole attitude changed in life. Now I am living life like it's supposed to be lived. I'm not living thinking she's only got 6 months to live. You know, she went on for 2 more years. We went to Puerto Vallarta. I told her she couldn't go, but she had to ask her doctor. She talked her doctor into it. She went to Puerto Vallarta with me in Mexico. The next year, I'd won a trip to Dominican Republic. She went there with me. And talk about creating some great memories. All because we lived in the moment. All because we didn't let, you know, whatever happened to us in life dictate our attitude. You know, we changed our attitude. We went to the following year, we went to Mackinac Island. After that, she laid down and went to sleep, man. After her dad's 80th birthday, that was all she was worried about. She made her dad his 80th birthday. So it's all about, it is, I love the part, and I don't know, I probably shouldn't have went on so long about that, but anyway, you got it all free. So is there anyone else that wants to say something? Mr. Marty DeGarmo, I see you're back in the house. Would you like to come on and say something to us, brother?
Very good show. I heard your story before. It's pretty touching, to say the least. And you're right. Diamonds are coming out every day. I think all of us look for that. We should support each other. If you see wrong, report it, because there are some things going on. And remember, this is our company. if somebody's not treated well or they're being charged too much, or just report it. We're turning the page. We're into things are going to start getting sold. People are going to start making money. Apples are going to start coming down. So we need to take care of each other, and the dreams are going to start coming true for sure. And yeah, great show, Milo. Yeah, very good. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Marty. Okay. I guess it's about that time to end the show. So come on down, Jeanne, and say something else to us. You're a big part of it. Thanks for helping out.
Thanks, Milo. Gosh, it was just, I'm sorry I was late in the beginning, but I am so excited to come to this platform every time I can, because Milo thinks so, I said in the chat, on multiple levels all the time, and he has this, what I call the superpower, that ability to bring together thoughts from many different places, like Jeffrey said, and give us a new way of thinking about it, something we might never have thought about before that's going to impact the world. And for me, all the people that you bring, Milo, each one of them has an incredible story. And then everybody on the panel is affected by that and has their own story. And we're just sort of weaving this tapestry that is getting stronger and stronger and more beautiful. And we're going to cover the world with it. So now I'm going to leave with that thought. Tina, thank you so much for this inspiring project. I cannot wait to see how it develops. It's just going to be amazing. Yeah, thanks, Lynn. Thank you so much. I do not know how you are awake right now. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, John Barilla, and every chat guardian that is watching, for all of those who would have us not succeed. It really is important work, and I appreciate you. And everybody that spoke today, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Absolutely, Jeanne. It is so important. We've seen what happened last week, and these guys do an incredible job. Roy Davies, come on down, take 1 minute. He's one of our chat monitors. Are you here, Roy? All right, let's move on. How about Lystra? Lystra, come on down.
Thank you. What a great show. Tina, your work is incredible. I know that you will keep on keeping on, and you're there to help others, and we appreciate you so much. Yvonne, again, what an amazing story. We just hope to see you again on many webinars, okay? And yeah, I want to hear more of your story. What an incredible, I can't wrap my head around what you went through and how you've come out of it on top. That's incredible. It's I can't stop using the word incredible here. Do you guys realize that? I'm just blown away. I'm blown away. And Jeanne, yes, I have to learn to talk like you. I really do. I don't know how you do it. I have to start to store everything up here. I am amazed. John, thank you for all you do and for being there and making sure that we all stay in line. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Lystra. And the main chat guy, the main chat monitor, Mr. John Barillo. We appreciate you coming every week, man. I want you guys to know that this show is not about Milo. It is about all of us, and we all make it go. And it's not me, but man, it's you guys. It's you guys coming here. Remember, there would not be a show if you was not here. John, come on down and talk to us for a minute.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you, Milo. You know, when you were earlier saying, this is the guy I'm calling on right now, he's one of the smartest guys I know. I said, wait a minute. Why is he calling on me right now? I'm not ready to talk yet. No, anyway, I'm just kidding. Jeffrey Morlock is really, I don't know about being the smartest guy you know or I know, but I have been listening to Jeffrey from the very early days that I got into ONPASSIVE, and he just has the best things to say. I won't go on that, you know, I think a lot of Jeffrey That's all I'll say. But also, I wanted to say that, you know, what I'm hearing today is very inspiring, and these stories, and this is a wonderful thing to be talking about. And Tina, I mean, I know you pretty well now, and I think very highly of you. And I just got to say, this is incredible what you're talking about in your story, and what your ideas are. It really is inspiring to me. And again, you know, I'm not a leader, I'm a helper. And so I'm around everywhere myself because I'm helping. And that's what I intend to do. And that's what I've done in ONPASSIVE. That's what it's about for me mainly. And I'm going to continue to do that. So thank you, everybody. And that's all I got to say for today.
Hey, thank you, John. Thank you. We always appreciate whatever you have to say. Mr. Jeffrey Morlock, you put a lot into it today. Come down and give us 1 minute. Can you do that? 1 minute, Jeffrey.
Oh, I could do 1 minute. So much, you know, you guys are, wow, I mean, what a platform, what an opportunity we've got with this, you know. John, thank you, man. You tickle, I watch YouTube, I listen, and you know, now I go on the YouTubes regularly and try to clean that out a bit. And whenever you guys are on, I usually creep through YouTube on you guys' channels. But I just want to say, you guys, man, you're awesome. I love the leadership here. And today in particular, women, I'm telling you, women, you got it going on. And you're a lot more than you've been told over the last 100 years, to be sure. So just know that there's energy coming at us. It's new energy. We're in it. Things are changing. There's a lot of chaos. And women are right in the middle of that chaos. But I'm telling you, you know, you guys have gotten the raw end of the deal for, I mean, we went through the dark ages where you guys were treated second class and even like animals. And now that we're finally coming back through that, we're coming out of that. And I can't wait for the day that you're rightfully looked upon as the caregivers and the givers of life that are connected to God with such incredible intelligence and a loving intelligence, you know. And I'm just going to shut up before I go.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you for
That's
coming
enough.
up. We appreciate everything you got to say. Hey, listen,
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Could I just jump in a second here?
Just for a second. We're running out of time.
Can I read my names real quickly? Let me just read my names very quickly. MK Kaylee, Yin Yang, Casey Zevenberger, Kushal Pagoo, Raphael St. Germain, Gina Leva, Lisa Tuach, Myra Kino, Bruce Gerstein, Miriam Weiberg, Yakia Kadem, Roy Davies, Rob Gorman, and Dave Rosowski, and Willie Wonky. That's it. I'm done. Thank you.
All right. Thank all of you, man. We couldn't do it without you. I didn't realize there was that many watching us, but hey, thank every one of you. Let me, Della Sales, do you have time to come on for 1 minute and talk to us? You are the one that brought Tina on. We would love to hear from you. Della Sales. All right. I guess she's not there, or she's not able to connect. We'll get to her later or something. All right, now is the lady of the hour, Miss Tina Goh. Come on down and talk to us for about 2 minutes. Tell us your closing things.
Of course, closing would be all the thank yous to everyone who are here, the beautiful ONPASSIVIANS, the Proudinaires who have always supported me, the lovely Lynn with her remarkable Rob. Like everyone else had said, I don't know how you do it, but I do know that you've been inspiring me, and you've always been there for me as well. I thank you so much for your friendship and for your guidance, and definitely I hope to work with you also, probably getting the energy from you. And learning sign language. I thank Jeffrey Morlock. I am really humbled that you came on and share your wisdom with us. Apart from that, my sister Jean ALLEVA, who eloquently say what I babble most of the time. And all the speakers that have spoken here, I thank you so much for your valuable inputs and your valuable sharing. Bruce, Yvonne, oh my God, yes, I would definitely want to work with you, and we'll spend whatever we have for the children of Cameroon. Definitely, thank you so much. Thank you, Dalacel. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Myra. Thank you, Akram. Thank you, Tamarilla, Tim, everyone. I do hope that whatever I've shared today will manifest, not just for me, but for everyone else that we are going to change lives in. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Milo.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you for coming on and sharing your passion and your heart. We loved it. We're going to jump behind you. I know myself, I'm going to get behind this project. I'm going to buy some spots. And I know a lot of the others on here will do the same thing, I'm sure, when we get the website up and we get it all going and set up. Thank you so much for coming on, man. We love your part and everyone who had a part in this show. If you talked on the show, you were a big part of the show. Remember, we couldn't do it without you. We could not do it without you. And now, the Energizer Bunny, Miss LYNN Nakamoto, come on down, talk to us, and tell us about what shows are coming up real quick. And
Okay, it's a great show. I'm trying to get a hold of Yvonne MBUUH, who spoke today. I texted her a direct message in the chat. Can you respond to that with your number so that we can connect? And I gave you my number. It was a great show. I love what Tina has in mind, and she's gonna, that's her life. It's gonna be devoted to helping women and these children. It's gonna be bigger than we think it, she thinks it's going to be. We know that, you know, as the company grows, as the apples come, there's no limit to what she can do. I wanna say that there should be a Papua New Guinea webinar tonight. We're firming it up right now, but it will be posted in the back office. And then tonight we have Rob Lynn live as usual at midnight Eastern time coming along. We also have tomorrow the Heroes webinar. It's a big webinar. We have several hundred attending every week, and we're going to have Andy Burke speak. We're going to have Red do a company update, and we'll have the OTech pros talk a little bit about technology, and then we have a wonderful Q&A at the end of it. So come and join us. And those are the major webinars coming up over the next couple of days. Thank you.
awesome. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Lynn. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to ONPASSIVE Milo, it's otrim.ai/ONPASSIVE Milo. I would love to have all of you subscribe, and remember, go to the playlist about the projects that we have, because there are some great projects. If you happen to miss one, go back and watch it, because we are all in this together and we can make a difference. We are world changers. You know, it don't matter where you live. Tina Goh will be a world-known figure, you know, in this platform because of what she stepped up and did today. It's going to grow. I guarantee, I manifested it. It is going to grow, and it's going to grow big. So thank you once again, all of you, for coming, man. I love seeing all my friends every Saturday. So we can unmute now, and good night from Nashville.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night from Pennsylvania.
Good night from Canada.
Good night from Chevy Chase, Maryland.
Thank you.
From Chevy Chase, Maryland.
Night from Canada.
Bless everyone. Good night.
Thank you very much for your inspiration. Good night. Good morning.
Good night, Tina. Good night, Lynn. Good night, Lisa. Good night, Dylan. Good night,
everybody.
Good Jeffrey.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
For my inspiration, Della.
Good night, Myra. Good night. Good night. Let's see, Bruce. Good night.
Thank you so much.
I'm
waiting for you.
Yes,
I know you heard me.
Good night.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Good night. Good night.